Okie doke. Okay, afternoon, everybody. Just another little impromptu yeah, hangout here today. I've got Jen and Sam in me thus far. So how are you guys doing? So
I'm doing good, but you know that because we've already spoken today.
yeah, of course. Sam, I know you've not long been up, so
No, I've literally woken up, responded to messages, had breakfast, and now I'm here.
yeah, okay. So yeah,
2 o'clock in the afternoon breakfast. Isn't
you're
that
worse than
more?
Dave.
Isn't that more? Isn't that more lunch?
I mean, this is my first thing in the morning because I didn't go to sleep till
Your
7:30.
body clock is screwed. That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do actually have to say to some of the Americans who were in Dave's stream earlier,
Well done.
Kudos to you guys for getting some of you getting up at to come on the stream at 4:30 in the morning to do that. And Dave's complaining about getting up to do a stream at 10:30. I'm like, Dave, come on. Not when your guests are getting up at 4:30. You can't. So see we've got in the chat, we'll see our Lone Wanderer. So how do you? Tusk is here. Ed's here. The grumpy old dude, the one and only. Ricardo, Ring, he's listening in as he's driving. Also, Ring, the link is in your group, so if you do want to jump in, get back or whatever, you can do. The Spooky's here. Dogs, the DOG's here. So we got the
DOG and the
GOD. Yeah. So he'd be in the chat a bit. I'll be in the chat a bit longer because the car is defogging. Always,
I am having technical issues, so I may end up dipping out a second in a minute.
Yeah. So this could be quite short because I know we won't get into it on stream, Jen, but you did say there's a possibility you might have to dip out. But
there is. But yes, I don't want to talk about that on stream.
Let's not talk about that on stream because it's. But
it's not my thing to tell. That's why.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. I only just became aware of this myself because you sort of said, but we'll not our story to tell. So
no.
Well, I just try to have a look, see what's kind of in the news, sort of find something to talk about.
Who's in the news this week? Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm trying to find anything that is not Trump related, but the first thing I get is Boris and
Boris.
He's saying that the vaccine program is going to be in operation 24/7 as soon as possible. How soon is as soon as possible? I don't know. And Scotland.
You know how we've got the two different vaccines, the Pfizer one and who's the other company that makes the other one?
It's the Oxford one that's been approved here.
Yes, but what's that one called? Okay, but what's that called?
I'm not sure. Sure.
Okay, the Oxford one that was co-developed between Oxford University and an Australian university, so it was a co-development, and I can't remember what it's called. It's got its own name.
Now I forget it, but now you just mentioned the Australian ones. Do you know that idiot on Twitter? Is it Great Believer? Just one who posts all that conspiracy nonsense all the time. He's obviously read about a story about a month ago about the one that was being developed in Australia that was pulled.
AstraZeneca was not pulled. AstraZeneca is the one that was the joint effort between Australia and Cambridge University.
Okay.
It was partly funded by the CSIRO in Australia, and it was a joint development thing. And the whole point about it is, whilst it's not quite as effective as the Pfizer one, it's easier to mass produce, so you can get it out there quickly. Now, there's been a couple of stupid people who've said, because it's not as effective, we shouldn't use it. That's bullshit. Because even if it's 20% less effective, less chance of you becoming immune, there's still a 70+% chance you will. Why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah, the real stupid is let me try and find. I did read this earlier. because basically the conspiracy theorists are now thinking that vaccine gives you HIV.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, and this is to do with something that there was a couple of tests. First of all, they don't understand what a false positive is.
Can you put up what Dog put though? Because it reads brilliantly. It's a mistype on Dog's part, but it's brilliant.
This one?
The one under that.
Oh.
Is that the tweet that gives you HIV?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's a tweet that gives you HIV, Dog. Vivid vaccine. Yeah.
We know it's we know that Australia is fake.
Yeah, we're all fake, yeah.
I mean, Jen gets paid a lot by NASA to,
yeah, I wish.
NASA shell
was true. That's why I do my Stump Jen shows, you see. So I can put out the fake science there.
Well, definitely,
I'll drag you all in.
I've said many times this week already. When it comes to stupid on the internet at the moment, Kevin Sorbo really is filling the void that Donald Trump has left on Twitter.
Oh, he has, hasn't he?
This is so true. And we're also seeing, I think, an influx of stupid on Twitter because obviously their previous favorite place to sit has gone.
Yes.
I don't think there's an influx of stupid. I think that stupid was always there. It's just it's more noticeable now that sea of Trump has been removed.
Oh,
and all the other stuff's bubbling up to the top.
my referencing there, Jen, is the fact that Parler got shut down, and so people aren't on Parler anymore.
Yeah, so they're coming back. They're making new accounts on Twitter that will probably get banned again. But
yeah. And,
it's amazing the number of TERFs who've really shown up on Twitter in the last week since Parler went away.
It's
so many stupid people in the world.
The return of the gender Twittercals.
Yep, the gender Twittercals.
Yeah, it's oh boy. Yeah, so I mean, I said I couldn't believe. I've said this as well. I never thought that in 2021, the Twitter feud we all wanted to see was Xena versus Hercules.
Yeah.
Good on Lucy Lawless for taking Kevin Sorbo to task. That was fantastic.
Not just to task, she obliterated him.
Yeah. I was like, I now I remember why I had a crush on you in the 90s, Lucy. I remember now why I had a teenage
Hercules, though. I mean, he was completely unbelievable as Hercules.
Both of those shows were unbelievable. They were very tongue-in-cheek kind of shows, weren't they? But this on the Brexit. Now I remember why I had a teenage crush on Lucy Lawless. Now,
well, not only that, she was a bit of a lesbian icon. The role, anyway.
Yeah. Well, there was always the. I mean, it was the thing that was teased forever and ever in that series, wasn't it? So, and African humorist. My friend took this vaccine this morning because she's a key worker, but she's only taken it because it's Pfizer. Okay.
See, I don't understand that thinking. Oh, we won't take the other one because the other one's only 70% efficient, and the Pfizer one is what 90 to 95. They're not exactly sure how efficient it is, between 90 and 95%. But even at that 20% less efficiency, if you can get more people vaccinated up front, we will hit this thing really hard right now.
Yeah.
It is totally worth being vaccinated. And you can eventually achieve herd immunity with that anyway.
My view on it logistically is that it will probably be optimal for the key workers to be the ones taking the Pfizer vaccine.
I agree. If you're a key worker, they should be given the Pfizer one because you want the guarantee. Anybody who's going to be exposed should be. The general population, I don't think it matters.
It doesn't really. It's more than 50% odds of you becoming immune. And if you give that to everybody, you've got, statistically speaking, 70% immunity. which is most of the way to herd immunity.
Yeah,
Isn't herd immunity 85%?
Because 85%. Yeah, you need for herd immunity, but you'll get there anyway. Because even if you don't get your immunity for the first time round, if they realize that they can test you for the antibodies in your bloods, 3 or 4 months later. If you don't have them, you can get a second dose.
True.
But if it didn't work, you can be inoculated again, so you can be tested to see if it's effective. The fact that you can mass produce because you can lab culture grow the other vaccine, plus it only requires a normal chiller box to keep it viable, not some heavy duty cooling system to keep it viable like the Pfizer one does, makes it a lot more logistically viable for us.
Absolutely. And it frustrates me that people don't look at 70% odds and go, those are good odds. I like those odds.
Yeah, it absolutely amazed me reading the article where people there were actually people going, oh, we should just drop this entire vaccine because it won't give us herd immunity. It's going to get us bloody close to it.
If that is the attitude they want to take with everything, then I think we need to just completely get rid of the police.
Yeah.
The police are a lower efficiency than that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now I do remember that yesterday as well, because I was thankfully it seemed like the guy ran away, and this is in relation to Kevin Sorbo's Twitter. Our friend Navadia put a very good response here. I love it when a failed actor thinks he knows more epidemiology than epidemiologists.
God.
Oh, she did.
There have been so many good tweets against shit Sorbo said this week. I've loved it.
Mero, you triggered these people so bad. It's brilliant.
Brilliant. Mero has been on fire this week.
Yeah. But then the funniest one was someone, and unfortunately this person's deleted their tweets now, sort of said, basically said, this is an appeal to authority fallacy.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't think you understand how that fallacy works, okay?
That's not how this works. Okay. That's not how any of this works.
This isn't actually citing someone who is an actual expert in the field is not an appeal. It's a legit. Okay, it is an appeal to authority. It's a legitimate appeal to authority, though.
The thing with appeal to authority is that the appeal to authority fallacy would be better named appeal to false authority fallacy.
Yes. It often it'll often just get because sometimes when you're citing someone who is a genuine expert in the field that they're doing it, that will just get dismissed as you're appealing to authority. That's not how this shit works.
My favorite is when someone goes, "Oh, you can't cite that person. That's an appeal to authority to that person." I've seen that happen once or twice.
Yeah,
I've seen so many people claim appeal to authority every time you cite a scientific paper. It's like,
I know, and it's people people often don't understand what the scientific method is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
mind you,
that's a great reference to his tweet, by the way.
You're giving him way too much credit there, dog.
See, speaking of Twitter, I got my first indirect Twitter threat this week. It was fun.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah?
Yes. Well, I found a Nazi. They're not hard to find. There's fucking heaps of them out.
Oh,
I know, but one of them responded to one of Ocean's tweets. These guys threatened Ocean and Wolf, and then kind of collectively threatened your whole group, and I'd been in the thread talking. And so it's like, well, I guess that technically includes me, given I'm part of this pagan group. But like, as soon as like none of us backed down, their immediate response was just to make their Twitter accounts private.
Yeah, that's what wuss bags always do, isn't it? They make their Twitter accounts private.
Yeah. Well, I guess the guy I was speaking to, the more accurate label would be totally not a Nazi, because he was a Nazi apologist, pro-fascist. He was openly racist and focused. But apparently he's not a Nazi.
Not a Nazi. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Not a Nazi, my ass.
Just to quote one of my favourite films. Oh, hold on, that's
Rings. Rings.
Yeah, we haven't even got
another Nazi.
I have that one.
Didn't Kevin
have that one saved now?
Didn't Kevin Bozo end up supporting the punching bag the other day?
Several times.
Probably.
But he is a transphobe as well. I mean, he's a fucking religious nut job, basically.
Oh,
yeah,
a nice message. Sorry, African news. This is completely off topic, but I'm so pleased to know you all. When I was making my way out of religion, all the people I saw online were Americans. I live in the West Midlands. Oh, cool. Hey,
yeah, there's more of us coming out of the woodworks now.
Yeah, well, drop us if you want to jump into a hangout or something. You can always message any of us, So.
Oh yeah, and my only response to West Midlands is bloody Southerner.
Oh, that's a bit rude.
No, anything north of Watford is the north, okay?
Anything south of Sheffield is the south.
Yeah. I feel a bit sorry. The Midlands are a bit, yeah.
Yeah, we all
exist.
We all pick on the Midlands a bit.
Yeah.
Does that mean Scotland's north?
Scotland's very
north.
That's
a real north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than anything south of Sheffield, it might be better said anything south of Birmingham.
Every place has a north. Don't you watch Doctor Who?
Birmingham, yeah. And I believe Chad's changed the name of your group to home for something. The name involves me now for some reason.
Oh, my group.
Yeah, your group, Jen.
Yes, insert better name here, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's a bit name here, Jeff. Love it. Is it really my group anymore? I know I started it, but we all sort of use it. So.
This is why I've not ever done my own Twitter group, because there's so many I'm in. It's
there are,
yeah, I just can't. I've got so many things that I'm working on at the moment. I just can't be asked trying to open up another thing when I've already wake up every day till 7 or 8 notifications anyway.
I know I said the Doctor Who quote wrong, Microraptor, but I was talking about places as well, because all countries have a north. It's not just England has a north. All countries have a north.
Except Australia, it doesn't exist.
Well, our north is our south because we're upside down, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Which means if you can find the point halfway between upside down and normal way up, you can confuse your compass.
Oh,
because north and south will switch.
Oh, yeah. How to confuse a flat earther? Well, basically say anything scientific.
It's not hard. That's not hard.
Yeah, no, confusing Smurfs is not.
How to confuse a flat earther? Ask them what a triangle of sides 1, 1, and 1 are.
No, I've seen 1 or 2 of them have got that actually, but
only 6.
I wanted, but I saw because occasionally I do watch like Fight the Flat Earth or Team. And I will say Team Skeptic. He's kind of seems to be coming away from the Flat Earth stuff a little bit now.
Yeah,
he's trying to look for other things. But I did see one on the other night. It was FTFE, and I think he had Red's Rhetoric on, and the Flat Earther on there. I felt a bit sorry for him because you could just tell he was someone who's clearly just a victim of like this religious indoctrination. What his pastor has told him, sort of thing, and it's sort of like he was quite a nice guy, but it's just he's got just victim of bad ideas, I suppose, and I always felt a bit sorry for him because I mean, let's be honest, most of the flat earthers you see jump into these things are just arseholes as well.
I'm going to make a joke based off something that Microraptor said in chat, and it's at Sam's expense, but aside from Sam saying it themselves, I'm the only one who can say it. Sam is the trans with the plan.
Oh dear.
Yeah. With lots of plans. Some of them are going to go horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong.
Yes.
They often do. The thing is to survive the ones that go wrong.
Oh, that's easy enough.
It depends what the plan is.
Yeah. This is also a valid point. But usually I can usually survive things like being a dumbass and falling out of my bed. Which happened yesterday several times.
Technically, dog, on a flat earth, east and west are clockwise and anti-clockwise, which just makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Yeah. It's I mean,
uvula and vulva. Yes, it was a great discussion that Chad and I had about the uvula and the vulva.
Hi, PJ.
Hey, PJ.
The plans of turfs and flirfs always goes awry.
Right.
I would like to say I don't know which one's worse, turfs or flirfs, but they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. I don't.
What happens if we end up with radical feminists that are flat earther exclusionists? Are they called flirfs as well?
God knows. Well, I think it's like
exclude the flirts there at that point.
I think flat earthers I don't think they particularly like the term flirf by and large.
Well, turfs don't like the term turf either.
This is the ironic thing. They started the term turf themselves and now don't like the way it's used because they use,
Yeah, but they even less like the term fart for them.
Oh, now what was that one? What's that stand for?
I'm gonna have to try and remember now because it's one that I heard someone else use the other day. Feminist appropriating radical transphobes.
Oh yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I know they don't.
I still like calling them gender twiticles because most of them are Twitter activists, so gender twiticles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yes, for fuck's sake, Microraptor.
They are really. Some of them are just so vitriolic as well. They're so vile.
Oh, they are. I know. They are. But they're also. People.
They're so easy to piss off, though. Like I just sort of exist, and they get pissed off around me.
They get pissed off at every trans person that exists, Sam.
Yeah. That's See, some of the shit that Shade's been dealing with recently is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because have you seen that on Twitter?
I haven't.
No, I haven't.
No.
So Unholy Shade.
Where do you count?
Yes, I know Unholy Shade. Yeah, you're talking about her thing to do with her lecturer. their
Yeah.
lecturer. Fuck me.
Yes.
Very shade.
Slap Jen. You know.
Bad Jen.
Bad Jen.
Yeah. Yes, that was the point of me bringing it up.
Yes, that was entirely the point, and I had to go and be a dick. Let's highlight the point by misgendering.
This is just how I know I do it at times. I'll say he or she, and I know when I shouldn't. And every time I'm like, damn, what do I fucking, you know?
It's not when you've known somebody as something else, and there's a change in place, and you don't say that person's gender pronouns. Very often, you will make mistakes. Even trans people make mistakes, as I just proved.
Yep.
Because it does take your brain a while to figure that out. If I was actually talking to Shade, I wouldn't do that. But because I was talking about a situation, my brain wasn't focused in on it properly.
In fairness, I sometimes put my pronouns.
Hi, little Red. I haven't seen you around here. I haven't seen you in my live chat before, Red. So,
hello,
little Red.
Yeah. She
generally covers someone I don't tend to mention on my channel with the initials KJP. So, enough said. Jen knows who I'm on about. So, yeah, but let's. I just don't tend to mention her on my channel at all. She's not worth getting to me. I mean, I'm not knocking people like Red who do want to cover whatever, but it's almost become like, to me, it's like back in the day when I started on YouTube, I made a few videos looking at that twat Onision, and I'm like, and I've got to a certain point, why am I giving this person attention? You know
that person's actually been on one of my live streams.
I know.
A year or two ago. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I think when KJ was just starting, she was on your channel, wasn't she? When you started,
yeah, she showed up in one of my live streams. It might have been one of the fundraiser live streams. But she came on to promote herself, and I didn't realize she was going to do that. Yeah, she was all about promoting herself. I didn't like her then. It was like, what are you doing? We're fundraising for somebody else. Why are you self-promoting? You dumbass.
People who do that infuriate me. Like, that's not the point this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a time and place for promoting yourself, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, I will say about a month ago when that it was impossible to avoid her on YouTube for a while because she was like the biggest story on YouTube for a couple of weeks. All the big name channels were covering her because of that lawsuit she got in. That she's being sued, isn't she, for like a lot of money, and so it was pretty much. It was if you watch anything on YouTube, it was almost impossible to avoid because all like the big name creators. I think Keemstar covered it. I think so she became she actually became a lot more famous, but not in a very positive
way.
No, I mean,
I'm not saying she didn't have some good content. She was just the way she went about doing the stuff that she did was toxic.
To be honest, she did very different stuff though when she started, didn't she, to what she does? Because she was. I
haven't seen her for ages.
She was all into like debunking pseudoscience at one time.
She was. I liked that.
She doesn't go anywhere near that now. She's all about. Which I'm not knocking her. She wants to cover reality TV and YouTube drama and gossip. If she wants to do that, let her do that. But it's not my thing at all.
She sounds like someone else.
It's like
I know.
But it's kind of almost like if you're going to cover it though, at least kind of cover it honestly. And I think that's anyway. I think we've talked enough about her anyway. So
yeah, I was thinking she sounds a lot like somebody else that we know who likes to embroil themselves in
I think I know who you're talking about.
controversy. Another English creator.
Oh no, this one's not. No, you've got. I think you have this person mixed up with someone else. KJ's not English.
No. I know KJ isn't, but the one I'm talking about is English.
I know who you're on about, and I'm not gonna bring in. I'm not gonna. I know who you're on about, though.
Oh, is this some shenanigans that happened the last few days?
I'll put it in the private.
I was meaning her, Jeff.
Yeah.
I haven't trying to know who you mean, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, put it in the private chat. I don't. I feel I've talked too much drama on this channel already in this stream, and I don't.
We did sort of just open up a kind of worms.
I mean, it's my fault, right? But I just say, Red popped in. I've never seen it. I know that's kind of what she covers is that stuff. So,
Fair.
But and
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who you thought I meant, wasn't it?
That's exactly who I thought you meant. But Happy Hump Day. Is it Hump Day?
Is it Hump Day? I thought it was.
It's what's it? It's Rubber Duck Day.
We were talking about this earlier.
International Rubber Duck Day.
That's right, International Rubber Duck Day, and yesterday was International Kiss a Ginger Day.
By the way, it's Heineken for.
So did you get kissed lots, Sam?
Pardon?
Did you get kissed lots yesterday, Sam, with International Kiss a Ginger?
God, that would have been nice. No, unfortunately, like, especially given like all of my partners are American.
Mm.
And so it's like none of them are close enough for me to just like steal for the day.
Wednesday is Hump Day.
It is Wednesday.
Oh, sorry. I thought you, Chris. Oh, by the way, I thought you were somewhere else, mate. Actually, because I know someone with. I know a creator with name similar to that, so I didn't realise it was you, Chris. Long time no see. Yeah, I did hear that yesterday because Quentin was on about it. It wasn't early one of the
about being Kiss a Ginger Day.
Kiss a Ginger Day.
The only place I've got ginger hairs is somewhere I don't mind being kissed, provided it's the right person.
Yeah.
Well.
TMI.
Right.
Sorry, Jeff. I'm so sorry.
To be honest, you get to my position. You take it from anywhere eventually. You know. well, within reason. I will say within reason, but you know. And Spite the fact you and Jenny thinking you were going to set me up with someone, and we're not going to mention that on stream either. But
you're not on that stream, though. You need to be on that stream.
Yeah, well, that's up to Dave, isn't it? So, and I'm not. And this, let's be honest. That is never going to happen. So let's just forget about it.
You still think she's way out of your league?
You never know until you've tried, Jeff.
I'm not even gonna go there. Okay, so it was.
You brought this up. I had actually forgotten about that.
Chris. By the way, mate, on my Patreon I've got one, but I'm actually hoping to get a stream with someone coming in about that. We're going to do a sit down and do a Cobra Kai review. I think Ethan, your friendly neighborhood atheist, he's up for doing it, but of course he's so damn busy with all the shows and that he's doing at the moment. It's more or less when he can whenever we can find time, I suppose. But so I don't know when we're going to have that stream or if and when we're going to do that, but we have talked about it, so we're just going to geek out on about Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. I haven't watched it. I'm
awesome.
not nostalgic enough for damn it, I can't remember the name of the movies.
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid, thank you. I'm not nostalgic enough for them to watch them. Cobra Kai.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, this is better than
apparently
better than the films, though. I'd say this is better than the films. But
the only film that was worth watching was the original one. I hate to say it, but the other ones were basically the first movie retold for no apparent reason.
Yeah, but Cobra Kai though, it centers more on the guy who was like the bully in the first film, the character that was and because there's always been a bit of a fan theory out there that Daniel was the real bully. There's always been this fan theory.
Well, he did start all the fucking fights, didn't he?
Yeah. So this kind of plays with that as well. So I'm going to say, Chris, I thought season 3 was awesome.
Danny went out of his way to start fights with these kids who didn't particularly want to fight him in the first place. But when he brought up the fight, they beat the snot out of him. And then Mr. Miyagi teaches him how to fight. I don't think anyone should have taught Danny how to fight. Then just turned him into.
I saw like effectively the rebooted version. I never did actually see the.
Oh, that's awful! Or the Jackie Chan.
You're talking about the one with
Jaden Smith.
Jackie Chan.
That's awful.
I like Jackie Chan playing the Miyagi role though in that, but Jackie Chan's awesome.
I got to go ready for my first. See you later, Ed.
Take care.
Bye, Ed.
But yeah, yes, I enjoy it. I mean, to be honest, the thing with it is, problem with it is, I think, okay, cool, that's something to keep me occupied for a bit of the lockdown, and I got through the whole series. I got through the last series out in a day, and it was like, okay, that didn't take me as long as I.
That's like me when I was like, oh, I'm going to start Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This'll last me through the first lockdown, and I finished it in like a weekend.
Yeah, well, I got to say, actually, probably the amount of money I've actually might be saving in not going out to the pubs. I'm pretty soon. I might be able to afford to buy a PS5. I might be able to afford to treat myself at some point because I've never bought. I've got a PS3 still. I never bought a PS4, and I thought, well, the 5's out now. I might as well just go to the next generation and skip the 4 altogether. You know.
Yeah.
But, so I'm going to have a little look, see what else is going on news-wise, shall we?
Shall we?
Probably, yeah. Let's just try and see what's going on that doesn't involve, unless it is something like really important. I'm trying not to. Oh, it's obviously the second impeachment vote going on, isn't there?
Yeah, that is a thing.
That's a
why
thing.
Why are humans?
Yeah.
Why are humans? Yeah, Sam.
Yes. Why are humans?
Yeah.
Why are humans? Is that the end of that statement? Is that why are humans? Why are humans at all? We don't need humans. Humans can just bugger off.
To be honest, actually, what Chris is just saying, actually, that might be a better investment for me than a PS5. It actually is buying, like something like a proper computer to replace this
gaming
laptop.
rig.
Yeah, but something. So I'm not doing everything on an old MacBook, So
yeah,
might be able to improve the quality of what I still have to learn how to use it, of course, but. You
do all right, Jeff.
I'm still trying to learn how to edit videos. So it's really odd to do that for like some response video type things. So I'm sort of playing around with that, but I've just never gotten any good at it. So you really need something that's like a real first timer idiot's guide to editing videos for me to be able to do that. So. US
Frankenpad.
So
Frankenpad. You've got the cutest.
Trouble is, I fear.
Frankenpad.
The trouble is, I fear if I get back too heavily into gaming, I'm going to want to start getting on Twitch or something, and then I'm just like doing gaming streams. I'm like, I don't know if I should do that. I don't, you know. So. But so what's this? US and Canada. US executes only woman on federal death row.
What?
Okay.
Why? What did she do?
Well, it was probably a murder or something if she's on death, or if was on death row. Lisa Montgomery, the only female inmate on federal death row, has been executed for murder. See, lethal injection.
So it was murder. Okay.
Oh, lethal injection.
The last minute stay of execution was lifted by the US Supreme Court.
I'm not a big fan of executing people.
No, I don't believe in capital punishment.
Only because we do have a history of sometimes getting these things wrong.
Yeah. I mean, or we have things that even if probably the person's guilty, sometimes they have been hung on some dubious, you know, like when we had hanging, obviously, you know, that it's been. I mean, like, you know, when I looked at this thing like the Dr. Crippen case, which is a famous one, you kind of like look at that and like, yeah, he probably did it. He always probably did it, but kind of the evidence he was executed on was a bit dubious. He's kind of got to be okay. Who's this reprobate in the chat? Do you know him?
Oh, I wonder who he is.
Yeah.
Ooh, not sure about that guy.
Yeah. Stay away from him. He sounds dodgy.
Yes, and while he is in the chat, check your bloody Discord DMs.
He hates Discord.
Hi, Brainbug.
Hey,
I believe that you guys are doing a new show, Sam.
Yes, that's why I'm telling him to check his DMs.
Oh. Do you want to plug it, Sam? Because I've got to step outside for like 2 seconds. All right,
plug it. Talk about it, Sam. Talk about it.
Sure.
Talk about what you and my other half did. My other half, and who's the other person? I got a mental blank now.
Do you know Science Side Up?
Yes, I do. That's who it is.
Yes. So
Sam,
Maddie,
Science Side Up, and my other half are doing a podcast.
Yeah, and we're gonna. Well, we're still in we have the premise and we're going to organize things stage at the moment. But we're kind of working on the premise of once, I'm not sure if we'll do once a week or once a fortnight or whatever, but we're going to have a pre-recorded video that we're going to talk about like theological topics. And so we'll probably like go through various like personal things in relation to our effectively religious journeys, as it were. And we will talk about things like probably purity culture. Off the top of my head, latent Christianity is another thing that came up. Even though one of the people there is going to be Christian, they were the one who brought it up. And so that's going to be a thing. We'll probably sometimes have guests on, but I've not actually discussed the details of that with my co-host yet.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it should be something a little bit different because there's 3 different dynamics where we have one of 3 categories. One of each person in 3 categories. Sorry, words. Yeah. We've got an atheist, a pagan, and a Christian. We've got a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a Gen Zer. and we've got a guy, a girl, and an MB.
Yeah. So you got a good thing, good coverage.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
And it should allow us to have some particularly interesting conversations, especially because I think all of us have some views that will be different and allow us to bounce off each other a bit.
Yeah. No, I was really I'm really looking forward to them. After what Will's actually told me about what you guys are playing, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good show.
Yeah. I had the idea in a conversation, I think, like after a stream with Jeff, because we were just bouncing stuff off each other, and it was like, "Ooh, this could be a thing." And the African humanist in chat, that I'm glad that you find it interesting, but that sucks. Coming out to family is difficult sometimes. Yeah, my family have, by and large, kind of just ignored the fact that I've come out to them.
Which bit was hardest for you with your family? Coming out as non-binary or coming out as an atheist? Well, as an atheist first and then as a pagan.
Well, they don't know I've ever been an atheist because I stayed closeted the whole time I was an atheist.
Okay, but they know you're a pagan.
They at least some of them know I'm a pagan, and some of them should know, but they didn't listen.
Okay.
But the thing is that I don't think the two are really comparable, because with being non-binary, I had to explain what being non-binary is, and with pagan, I had to correct them on what pagan is.
Yeah, so you kind of had to explain it both times.
Yeah, I just had to come from very different points, because from one, it was a point of they don't understand the difference between gender and sex, and they assume sex is binary.
Yeah.
And then the other was just sort of why do words suddenly escape me? The other was like correcting a bunch of the other was a bunch of misinformation that the church had given them that I'd have to try and correct them on, which was significantly more difficult because they were the ones running the bloody churches.
Is that going to be on your channel, Sam?
Yeah, that is going to be on my channel.
Yeah.
I will kind of.
Have you got ops in Jeff's thing to post your link, or do you want me to do it?
I will have a look. I don't actually know. Could you do it?
I can do it. Give me a sec. Oh, go and grab it.
And then as to when it will be, I don't really know. I know we're going to try and record this month, but I don't know if we're going to start uploading this month or next.
There you are.
And then is that Chris at the bottom of the chat? I am still trying to learn people's names, but this is.
So there's Sam's link for everyone. I've just posted it. I said I just posted it. That was the link long before they hear me say that, because I'm an idiot and didn't put your name next to it. But that is Sam's link. So please go and sub. Sam only needs 19 more subs to get to 100. So please go and sub.
Yeah, I release a pre-recorded video once a month, and then we're going to be doing this podcast however frequently we do the podcast.
I think I should do to encourage more people to go and watch your channel, especially for this podcast, because I think it's so worth it. I think I should do a Raising Voices episode where I have the three of you on, and you can talk about what your show's going to be. Yeah,
once we've got it all like fleshed out and stuff.
Once you're ready to go, and before you actually do your first one, maybe like a couple of days before, we can do a stream on my channel to get you promoted.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be worthwhile. And besides, if I don't do that, I think Will might kill me. Not kill me, but you know what I mean. He might not be happy if I don't promote you.
Yeah. And I've recently been on a couple of different people's streams that's kind of boosted me from I was sat at about 65. It's boosted me up to like 80. Just being on Black Sofa and Ginger Nation.
You've got a new sub because you went up to 81 then. So
that might be possibly my friend Chris, maybe, I don't know, but whoever it is, if
African Humanist actually asked for Sam's link, so
yeah, I don't. Okay, if you're not subbed to Sam, go give him a sub.
Sub.
Go give
them a sub. Yep.
Wait, Chris in the chat is one of my like real in real life friends, like not internet friends. So.
But yeah, if you're not already subbed to Sam, go and sub, and that podcast is going to be so worthwhile listening to. Should be awesome. So go sub.
By the way, Seraphim Hyde, I've just sent a link to you if you do want to join. It's up to you. But I have sent you the link if you do want to come in.
Sub or I will bite you. I like that.
Yeah. Have I actually wrenched you and Sam yet? Or
we were discussing that, but we don't know. You'll have to type something though, Sam, if you want to be wrenched.
You will have to type in the chat. I'm sure I have, but if I haven't,
you said type something in the chat, so I've typed something in the chat.
I have not. You don't
need to go. There you go. Exactly. Right. Type something.
Well, Sam, you're now you now have a wrench.
Cheers.
You have a
Brainbug. A patron god tends to refer to one you engage in practice with more than the others, which isn't a thing I really do. But the ones I primarily interact with, there are 4/6, depending how you look at it. There is the Morrigan, which is technically 3, but I tend to refer to as 1. Then there is Hermes, Hephaestus, and Thor.
Seraphim.
Hi, hon.
Oh,
gone again.
That was okay. Try again, Sarah. I don't know what happened there. Okay, Seraphim's back.
Sorry, my cat apparently decided that she did not want me to be in the chat for whatever reason.
Your cat interfered on Dave's last night as well, so.
Yeah, she's a very needy little thing, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
That's what I get for having a quarantine kitty.
This is fair. I have dogs that are very much like that, but like they'll just follow my dad around constantly. But if my dad's not in the house, they'll come and find me.
There you go, Brainbug sub. Sorry.
Yay, Brainbug!
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
84 now, Sam.
Gained a few more now. Yeah, 84. That is
16 more to go.
By the way, I just realised something I should have done actually right at the very beginning of this stream. I'll just put it on the banner because I see PJ is here. PJ is one of my patrons on Patreon along with Gary. So let's give you guys a shout out. So thanks very much for supporting my channel. I've done like a couple of videos or streams on my Patreon now. So because I've kind of got that feeling if I am going to ask people to like give me money, they should get something for that. It's, you know, I know a lot of people just will join a Patreon just to support, but it's just kind of how I feel.
Yeah. So the African Humanist just asked a question in the chat. So if you want to live stream from a mobile device, you need 1,000. But if you want to live stream from a PC, then you can do that no matter what number of subscribers you have.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I don't want to live stream because I don't have 1,000 subscribers.
There is a limit, though. You cannot. When you first make your account, you have to wait. I think it's 48 hours before you can live stream. So when you enable live streaming, because live streaming isn't enabled by default, when you enable it, you have to wait 48 hours before you can live stream. So there is a waiting period.
At one time, YouTube used to let you live from a mobile device, because I think the first one I did was kind of a live, but wasn't very good, but it was just I was just messing about with it. But then they YouTube changed their rules on that, and they're like, now you've got to have 1,000 subscribers if you want to stream from a mobile device. Like, cause I did do.
You can stream to somebody. You can join somebody else's StreamYard stream and stream from a mobile device. Yeah. And if you have StreamYards, you could set up StreamYards, connect to it from your mobile device, and stream from StreamYards with your mobile device to YouTube. So you can still stream from a mobile device. Even if you've got less than 1,000 stuff.
You just have to do it by proxy instead.
Yes. Which is actually better anyway, because if you want to live stream and invite other people in, you need things like StreamYards to do that. So, cool shot.
I don't ever plan to stream, so. But I also never
cold shoulders, brain bug. I'm sorry. Did I ignore you, brain bug? I apologize.
Answers in Genesis has given has credited trans people with a lot of power this week.
I love that. That's my favorite thing for the week.
Wait, what did they credit you guys with?
Yeah, I saw you share something about that, Jen, but I didn't read AIG's article. So what's their problem?
So the transgender movement has shattered the culture's understanding of God's design. Is their label for it?
Yeah.
And basically, I only really glanced through the article, but it's talking about how trans people are effectively shifting people's perspective away from the Bible. Or specifically a mythic literalist interpretation thereof.
Yeah, but they're basically blaming trans people for taking people away from the Bible. And I mean, I reckon most trans people would be pretty happy with being blamed for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my comment on it was, what's a transgender movement? Is that something that happens after a particularly spicy curry? You know, this thing of it's a trans movement or the gay movement. Or it's bullshit.
So transgender has a movement and gay people have an agenda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, see, here's the thing.
There's definitely a trans agenda as well. If you listen to the TERFs, it's just all bullshit. It's just ways to attack.
You want to address that one? It has actually.
It's true actually. Especially
for
with
as long as people have been around, there's been trans people, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sam. You were going to say that, and I talked over you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. But it also amused me that one by one, all of my friends from high school, even the very Christian ones, are coming to me like, "Hey, I think I might be trans," or "Hey, I think I might be queer." Just one by one, all of them.
Oh, don't say all your friends, because you know what they're going to say about that. Oh, they're trenders and they've been persuaded by the culture. It's bullshit. It's absolute fucking bullshit.
See, in one of my D&D groups, the straight friend came out as bi recently.
I'm not surprised by that though. I have this. I think there are way more bi people than there are straight people in the world. It's just a lot of people don't recognize their own bi-ness, because sexuality is a spectrum, and you're going to find more people towards the middle than you have at the extremes. So the number of people who are exclusively attracted to one gender is actually going to be a lot smaller than those who are attracted to both.
So I'm very much in the minority. I very much am exclusively attracted to women. So in a lot of ways, I am, in a very much a minority, really.
But you would even notice that when you do streams with people who are part of the community, because you go, well, there's so many people who end up on these streams who go, yeah, I'm bi, but I don't act on it, or I can own up to an attraction the other way and things like that. So
yeah,
there's a lot of bi people within the community, and I think there's a lot of bi people in the community as a whole. But the degree of how far you go one way or the other. I mean, for a lot of people, their bit of bi-ness might be just the fact that they can look at it and admire somebody of their own gender, and that's as far as they will go. But for other people, it's like, hey, look, I could date either gender as a partner. So it's one of those things where I think it's.
Well, a lot of people don't consider the fact that you can look at someone of the same sex and admire their beauty or how attractive they are as being bi. They think that just means that they can, they're not strictly bi or strictly straight or something. I don't know. I've heard people explain it.
You're not strictly straight. Yeah, you're on the you're on that spectrum of and that's perfectly fine. And you can be somebody who. This is my take on it. I mean, I'm sure other people have different interpretations of that, and that's fine. But that's my take on it. That there's more people out there who are actually effectively. I mean, if you look back at, like, say, Rome, right? The norm in Rome was to be bisexual, to have sex with whoever and whatever. I was going to say whatever. Yep.
I'm sure there's plenty of that too.
Yes, there definitely was. At the time, whoever you were attracted to at the time. And that was how most people were. To be heterosexual in that time was considered unusual. I mean, it happened because people were, but the majority of people were bi. So when you were in a culture when it wasn't frowned upon, or when there weren't these social norms that push people one way or the other, it tended to be a case that more people were bisexual. And I think it's just a framing of our society. And that's not going against what Jeff says about his sexuality. I totally believe people, when they say what their sexuality is, that's what their sexuality is. But I think there's a lot more bi people in our world than most people would admit to.
Yeah, I think a lot of...
I find around this community or whatever, I'm everybody's straight friend.
Yeah, pretty much. I made the joke a little while back that you are the straight friend of the community.
Yeah.
And I've noticed something really weird in that I know a fair few non-binary people, but I've never met an ugly MB.
Okay, you just knew someone have to lower the tone of the live chat, wouldn't you?
What happened?
Yeah, it had to be still. Can we just click on Rings one? I wonder if by that logic it applies to MBs. Because I think we could find that in the future it kind of goes that way, and that this concept of most people aren't strictly one gender or the other may actually be the norm because of that variation in what a gender identity is. So.
The thing with social construction of gender is that it builds off itself, meaning that it can shift within society. Because social construction is a fun and ridiculous thing.
But it has shifted, so.
And
definitely.
Sexuality in Rome was viewed as more of a top versus bottom thing. That's a Noodle quote as well. So Noodle of probably all my friends in the community would know. So
I have no idea what Noodle is.
Hissy, what used to be Hissy, used to go by Hiss, goes by Noodle now.
She changed her name. Did not know that.
Yeah, rebranding.
Yeah, rebranding to Noodle.
As well as in Rome, that being a thing in kind of Norway and Iceland and places around there was a general idea that homosexuality was fine, but there was a certain shame in being a bottom, which is kind of something almost similar.
Yeah, as we change our concepts of what is considered the norm, more people will show up, and we'll see how those bell curves work out with where people actually sit.
Damn it, dog.
Wow.
I can't see the chat, so I have no idea what's going on in the chat. Sorry.
Evaporated milk is the trans male of dairy products.
That's cute.
Yes.
See, now there's a trans joke that actually is humorous.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I'll hold my hands up that I made one, which I made one a couple of times, which I didn't realise was harmful, that had some harmful connotations. when I made it was I've made the attack helicopter joke before.
See, the problem with the attack helicopter isn't the attack helicopter joke. It's the fact that it's the one it's made so many times it's completely meaningless, and it's only used now to attack trans people. It's not used because it's funny.
Well, I heard it. Well, I'd say the guy I heard it from was Red's rhetoric, but I've noticed he stopped using it now
because it's not funny.
I only used it once.
It's not funny anymore, but
And that was when someone was trying to fight with me about one of my cats not being female because I had a calico cat. And I was talking about how, she's probably most likely a girl because calico cats are typically female. And this person just kept going on and on about how I was assuming my cat's gender. And they were actually serious. Like, well, fine. She's an attack helicopter. Fuck it. So that was the only time I've used it.
Fair. See, I at one point I identify as an attack helicopter, as an MB, as a bit of a go the fuck away.
That makes sense.
I've said I identify as the person who's got more brain cells than you have before.
See, I've gotten in shit for saying that type of thing a couple of times at like college and high school and stuff.
Yeah, but I've said it to TERFs, so.
Then again, my default answer to people that insist on knowing, I just tell them I'm a waffle and just leave it at that because waffles are delicious. And I'm delicious, so yes.
You are delicious, Seraphim.
I don't know that, Seraphim, but I would be happy to find out one day.
Jeff says it must be true.
Yeah.
Just saying. He is the ultimate authority on this kind of stuff. Jeff says it's true.
So Jeff.
Jeff, we were on about this earlier. That's what's called a legitimate appeal to authority.
Exactly, see?
Yeah. We were talking about this earlier.
Look at us being all educational and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're being educational about how Seraphim tastes.
Yes.
This conversation hasn't got as bad as the one on Dave's yet.
No.
That was a fun conversation. I enjoyed that conversation. I mean, I was sad I wasn't part of it, but I enjoyed that conversation.
You should have hung around. Dave should have kept you around.
Well, I was only there because someone else was late, and he was.
He didn't have me once Ginger showed, so.
Well, yeah, he was. I think he was waiting on Ginger as well. So Ginger was like the other person he was waiting on, but yeah, apparently Ginger was having electricity and Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah, I think that was why he kept me around in case Ginger dropped out. But I mean, he put Ginger in as a voice in the back. He could have done the same for you, and we could have had an extra person in the group. It would have been interesting. But
I mean, I enjoyed being in the chat because it was a really great show.
Yeah, I get where a lot of the time now when I can get it from his position where you have too many people in that chat.
Yeah, that was the other thing too.
And we were very rowdy.
Well,
you've been on something, you know how heated some. I mean, if there's like a serious question when there's a disagreement. You can get quite heated on these, at times. It's or,
Well, that episode had like a lot of really good questions actually. So they were really long-winded. Yes, like people discuss them for a while, but they're also really interesting questions with really interesting answers.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I mean, there is the odd occasion where we can get. It's been the odd occasion where we can get heated because we're not understanding each other's point or something. Like,
yeah,
I had one where I stormed out the bloody room and I didn't come back for like 15 minutes because I was really so fucking angry. But I will say with the person that was that. Like, after within 30 minutes, we were okay with one another and made up, and we were cool, and that's what it was, And it was just that really, once we got to actually talk about what the issue was, it was like, okay, we're kind of in agreement. It's just we were kind of talking past one another rather than to one another.
Well, yeah, that happens a lot too. And it's also really not a really good idea to actually, be friends with people who you disagree with, because that way you can at least have another perspective. You're not just on the one perspective.
Yeah.
Or the word's an echo chamber. That was the word I was trying to think of.
Well, a good example. I just spent my friend Chris is in the chat there. One of my real life friends. He and I disagree on quite a few things, but it's quite healthy. The sort of some of the discussions we have are quite healthy. Let's put it that way.
Do you disagree on as many things as atheist pastor Chris does with Bobby Mack?
Oh, not quite as much. Not quite. No.
Yeah, I have a tendency to disagree on a lot of things with pretty much all my friends.
Yeah, but
I disagree with a lot of my real life friends too, but that's because I live in the South. So a lot of my friends are going to be, are still in the religious mindset, or are just left, not left, right, politically. So they're going to disagree with me just on principle on a lot of stuff.
See, a lot of my friends are left, but in reality, it's more like centrist than anything. And I mean actual centrist, not American centrist.
Yeah, we're kind of skewed when it comes to those kind of things.
Okay, Chris, Chris, you don't even realize how brilliant what you just said there, because the other two
that was perfect.
Atheist pastor and Bobby Mack's flat earther, but he's a nice guy.
It's really hard to get aggro at him because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's just too likable. I mean, like, I'll say this: Chris doesn't. I'll just say Chris doesn't mind a good conspiracy, but no, he's not in a flat earth or anything like that level. So he knows. There's things perhaps he and I have disagreements on, but we'll leave it at that. But we have a conversation. We have a conversation about it. We probably still end up disagreeing, but we're better off having.
At least you've had it. True. Also, morning, Slim.
Hey, Slim's in the chat.
Hi, person. I don't know.
Slim.
Oh, you'd like Sarah? You'd like Slim? Slim's awesome.
Hold on, I have my tablet up.
Oh,
I'm trying to see if I can pull up the chat
I
there.
just realised we got something. We've got somebody here. We've got a guest.
Hey, Granny.
Hello.
Granny.
Hey, Sam.
Hi, Granny.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Seraphim. I haven't seen you for a bit, Seraphim.
Yeah, I've been a bit scarce for a while. I'm feeling better now, so I'm trying to be a little bit more social. Trying to be more social.
Very good. I went to the grocery store.
I sent you a name in Midnight Mid America.
Oh, thank you.
And is Chad actually in the chat at the moment?
I haven't seen
Chad.
Chad.
Do you remember?
I haven't seen Chad at all in the chat.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
him in the chat, but I've also haven't been able to see the chat until just now. So.
Okay.
But
yeah, if you want somebody who knows a bit about string theory, you can talk about it. Chad would probably, who's in the community, who would probably give you time for it. Chad would probably be my first choice.
Okay.
Actually, can I might retract what I said there about being exclusively heterosexual. You just brought Chad up.
You're forgiven for that one, Jeff.
He is very cute, so.
Yeah. I could,
Otherwise, if you get desperate, Granny, I can talk about it, but it's not really my area. But I can talk about it if you need to.
Yeah, I was shocked when I was.
It's not really Chad's area either, but he knows it better than I do. So
I know nothing about it, so I wouldn't be very much help at all.
I often feel like, especially when I'm on like Jen's, like Stump Jen streams the other day, when you see yourself and Chad and that for talking physics and that, and I just feel like so dumb. I just feel so
even Dave could probably Dave would be able to hold his own in that conversation too. If you,
I feel dumb on most of the conversations you people have. Like, you guys were so smart, and I'm like, Mila and Cookie.
In fairness, we have our wheelhouses, and we tend to be able to stick to a conversation inside of them.
Yeah.
And that makes it
That's
look
true.
very
See, that's
smart.
the thing. I don't
It
have a
does. It
wheelhouse.
easy to
I
make
don't
yourself
really.
look smart.
I don't really
probably-
have anything scientific or anything that I'm really good at. So I'm mostly just here to be a pervert, I guess. I don't know. I'm the resident hoe.
Jeff
Right,
comes
Sarah.
in to talk history, so
Yeah,
Huh?
I am not. I have zero knowledge of science at all, really.
But you're
I-
good at
I-
history, though. I'm not good at history either
Yeah.
because I've forgotten most of the stuff I learned. And
You
also,
probably-
my school's version of history was the South good. We did good. We should have won, and we're gonna rise again.
your history's still better than Trump's.
That's true. That's true. I'm pretty. I'm a lot better than he is. But that's like setting the bar really, really low.
He's rather setting it low.
That is
Just to give the chat some context of what we're talking about and why string theory came up, last night in my stream, Brett was in the chat, and he is a personal troll that I've spoken to many times on Twitter. And I was considering inviting him for a stream. The only thing is that when I was talking to him, he has kind of a weird theology that is loosely based on string theory. His claim is that there are 10 dimensions and that the Bible talks about these 10 dimensions and that science proves that the Bible is correct, that all of theology is based on these 10 dimensions. And I had no clue what he was talking about. So I looked it up. And when I Googled 10 dimensions, I got string theory. And I don't know anything about string theory.
None of these solutions for string theory
interesting.
suggest 10 dimensions.
So is he like a funny troll, or is he just like a troll that you try to tell him something and he just completely ignores it and just keeps spewing the same stuff that he believes in?
Well, actually, he's kind of a counter troll is really what he is, because I troll John Piper. And when I troll John Piper,
you're the most adorable troll.
my way of trolling, though, is to ask questions that kind of tear apart what Piper is saying. And
But
usually
that's not trolling. I guess
Okay.
they would consider that trolling, though. But you're the most adorable troll ever.
Well, thank you.
Grania, I've
Yeah,
got to
that's-
say, I love how your black headphones, with the way you've got your hair at the moment, really brings out that Princess Leia look.
Guys, got it.
Yes.
No, see, I've got to get if I get my hair back, I don't know.
Don't
No,
you
you
crochet?
can't. I'm
Granny,
sorry.
don't you crochet?
Yes. Yes.
Have you ever crocheted like the Princess Leia headphone covers?
No.
I did that at work, and only one of my coworkers got it. All the others was like, "Why do you have cinnamon buns on your hair?" I'm like, I want to quit right now.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I've done that.
have to
It's
look for
cute.
that.
It was I mostly just found a cinnamon bun crochet pattern and just adapted that because I couldn't find anyone for Princess Leia that wasn't pay to use, unfortunately,
Mhm.
because people be greedy little bitches.
Yeah.
I've got to actually catch up on your stream from last night, Granny. Actually, but trouble is you're often live
Yeah,
when
me
I'm
too.
asleep. So
I know.
That's my problem. I was
it's a
asleep.
terrible time, for
I'm
you
out of
people.
the loop, so I don't really know when people are live anymore. I need to join like a chat on Twitter or something again, so people can tell me when someone's live.
Are you not on Twitter anymore?
I'm on Twitter, but I'm not in any of the chats. Like I left whenever I started getting really bad with my depression because whenever I do, I don't like to talk to people, but I do hold it in until I blow up. So I just like start whining and whining and whining. And so like I'm just gonna stop this so I can stop whining to people because they're trying to have a normal human conversation instead of me talking about how my life sucks.
All right, re-added
Yay!
to my one. I mean, if you want to be added to any of the others, just let me know. But
got to step out for
you're at
2
least
seconds.
in mine.
So I've got to step out for a couple of seconds. I've got to take a Riley. So
No worries.
Make sure you turn the camera off and don't use the flower button.
well, hold on. Now you get the bottle and you just go like.
Oh, that was the worst. That was.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but it sounds interesting.
Very quickly, this is Anthony
Go
Riley.
take your thing. I can explain it.
Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, okay. You want to explain this one, Jed?
Yes, educate me.
Okay, Nathan Riley on a stream gets out a bottle undoes the top and takes a pee into it whilst he's still on the
Oh my
stream. And everyone can hear him doing it, and you can still see him.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Classy as fuck. That's some class right there.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are flat earthers, dumb as shit.
No,
Really?
that's
I'd never
not dumb. That's
guessed.
classy. It's fine. They got some class.
He took a bit. Yeah, there have been other ones. One of the others peed in a flower pot during a stream, and another one walked out with his mic still clipped on, so you heard him go to the loo.
Lovely.
See, that one I wouldn't be
That's an easier
surprised
one to
about.
mess up. You can forgive that one because that's easier to mess up.
Yeah, that
But-
one's easy to mess up. But the peeing in a bottle while on stream. I mean, if that's your fetish, not to fetish shame or kink shame, but I'm gonna kink shame now. But that's dumb.
There's a footage of some people doing a stream where one of the guys on the stream says he has to go and doesn't turn his video camera off. He forgets. He says, and they're wondering what he's going. He wanders off, gets a box of tissues, comes back, sits down at his desk, and starts doing something on the camera. And they're trying to phone him on his actual phone.
Wasn't this one like those Zoom meeting mess up things?
Yeah, that was a Zoom mess up. Zoom,
Oh yeah,
it was a
there were
Zoom
so many
meeting,
of those.
that's
It
right.
was so great. Like there was that one, and there was the guy that actually took his laptop with him to pee.
See, I find that really fucking funny, but also I hear some stories about people being really dumb from my dad.
Oh yeah,
who
Anthony
does,
Riley.
like-
Sorry, not Nathan Riley.
Yeah.
It was Anthony Riley who did it. Sorry, Jeff. You're right. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
just recognize the Riley name, and I know there's a bunch of them that are flat earthers. I'm horrible with names. I have to see them like 50 million times before I put them with a face or an avatar.
Fair.
Yeah.
God, my dad does like IT work. Basically IT work gets outsourced to my dad, so he has to be in meetings with people all the time.
Oh, your
And
poor
I-
dad.
I sometimes get to hear some of the most entertaining stories where like a company that's big enough that they should know better locks themselves out of their server 8 times in a day.
I'm not surprised. That's something that like happened a lot whenever I used to work in IT. Like people are dumb.
The thing is that my
people
dad
are
isn't
really
supposed
dumb.
that my dad isn't actually even supposed to be IT help. He is a systems architect.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Well, I mean, the thing you've got to remember about intelligence, right, is the average intelligence is what, about 110, right? But that's your
Well-
average. There are as many people below that as there are above
Well,
it.
that and also like
There's a
computers
lot
aren't
of
really.
people.
Oh,
People have a
Seraphim,
basic
run your
understanding.
junk shopping.
You're junk shopping, Seraphim. Try again.
My internet. Sorry. Is it better? No?
Still
No,
junk
you're
shopping.
still breaking up, hon, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Oh well, we'll get her back.
we'll get it back. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
There,
that's
we
better.
got you.
Oh, she just got good
Ah.
and she jumped out to jump back in. Oh, well. Because she can't, of course, get back in until Jeff gets back.
Yeah, and then I think
Jeff didn't take his headphone and his microphone with him, though.
yeah, and then when Jeff gets back, Slim is also in the back.
Slim's there. Yeah.
I like the comment in the chat. He was a master debater.
He's a master. So what is
Yes.
well, while we're here and we're still talking about it, what has everybody else got coming up? Because we know that you've got your fancy this thing going on about string theory in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that
But you've
comes up
actually
with-
got
I have a produced video that I just finished uploading. I still have to make the thumbnail, and I need to post it to my patrons, and they get 24 hours of access before I publish it. So that one will come out tomorrow, and that one is a discussion of the difference between constitutional rights and civil rights with regards to deplatforming and free speech rights.
I like that.
Yeah, that one was really easy to make. It's just 11 minutes long, and it's not a response. It's just straight.
But it's in your field, Granny. It's
yes,
in your
it
field.
is. It was really easy to make. I was surprised. Normally when I do, normally the produced videos, I spend a full day writing the script,
researching.
And I spend about an hour to an hour and a half actually videotaping. And then I spend about 30 hours.
Someone's got echo.
Sorry, hold on. Someone's got this going in the background.
Still echo?
Not now. I think it's Slim.
Yeah. But this
I
one.
have returned.
Yay!
Yes, African Humanists. Patreon is its own separate thing where basically you can donate money to creators, and I think Slim still got an echo.
Still got an echo, mate.
And the way as far as I'm aware, Patreon works is that a content creator or whoever sets up a Patreon and sets up how frequently they're going to effectively ask for money from their patrons, and their patrons choose how much they're going to give them. And so it's a completely separate thing. And on Patreon, you can set up like rewards and stuff where you can like show videos to people early, but it's completely separate from YouTube. It's not just a thing YouTubers use. Like I have artist friends who use it as well.
I've just posted a link to mine in the chat. Now I'm not saying you have to go and scrub, but I've only just started a Patreon, so I'm still trying to figure it all out myself. But it'll give
I'm
you
hoping
a
that
rough idea.
I'm hoping that one day my art will be good enough to actually warrant one of those. But so far, no.
Your art's good.
Your art's good. It's a classic. Artists is never truly appreciated in their own time. So.
I'm looking forward to seeing that video of yours, Granny. It'll be awesome. I've got a stream on Thursday evening, which is about allyship within the LGBTQ plus community. We talk about allyship from people outside of it, but the allyship between the elements of it, which is an important discussion to have. So,
what time is that?
Interesting. That will be what time for you? Like 3 8.
That'd be about
3 a.m. something like that. When was it last time, Jeff? It was about 3 a.m. Yeah,
about 3:30 a.m. and I just happened to be up at the time. I suppose
Jeff just happened to be up when we did the Trump one. So yeah, a weird o'clock in the morning. If you want to be in, Sam, that's cool. But I will.
Yeah, I will
have to ask because of the time frame might be shit for you.
Oh, I'll be up. Don't worry.
All right, I'll send you a link when we.
That's
Will and Myers What the Fuck show. So
yeah, it's a good show. It's a good little show you just started. We lost Sarah again.
Lost Sarah again.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was just about to ask how you were, Slim. Just about to segue to you. So.
I'm doing interesting. I'm watching all the fun that's happening in the Americas and all the people being stupid. And now we have all these people saying they're going to pull out their guns and be everywhere.
Oh, God, Bennett, not again.
Where are you, Slim?
I'm in Colorado. I am.
Oh, so you are here.
Yeah, I'm an hour north of Denver. I'm normally living in Denver, but right now I'm in Fort Collins. So I'm actually kind of a nice distance away from the capital, so I'm safe.
That's nice. That's nice.
From what you nice said, to meet you.
From what you said, I got the impression you lived in a different country.
I was going to say, were you here the last time Slim popped in? Or not?
No, I've never met Slim before.
Yeah.
I have a European feel because I mainly hang out or talk with Europeans because I don't get along with Americans very well. So.
Oh, well, now I feel bad. I'm American.
Well, I'm sure we'll get along if you're here.
Oh, also, I almost forgot to turn off my camera. Yay, I remembered.
We don't mind.
I do. My hair looks like
That's it.
shit.
Your hair looks like shit.
The only reason my camera's off is because today is a dysphoria day, so I can only turn my camera on for short periods of time.
Oh.
But you look awesome, Sam. I don't know
That's what
why.
I was going to say. Sam's hair is amazing.
I've
Sam's hair
never
is
seen what
amazing.
Sam looks like, and I've never met Slim either. But you guys told me that I would probably like Slim because something about getting along. I don't know.
Sam is cool.
Slim,
You can see
do
Sam
you
now.
want-
That's what I
Slim,
look
do
like.
You,
Hello, Slim.
there's
Hey,
some
Slim.
people here that
It's nice
don't
to meet you,
I
by
love
the
your
way,
hair.
Slim.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Both of your hairs, awesome.
Thank you.
Do you want to?
Does this mean that I need to turn on my camera just to like?
No, it's entirely up to you, Sarah. There's no requirements to put on cameras. I might be rude, people, because it's heading towards midnight for me. So, and I want some sleep.
I just posted a link to Slim's channel in the chat. Do you want to take a minute to just introduce yourself, Slim? Actually, so people don't know you, and explain what you do. And
yeah,
I will catch you later. Let me know what you want to do, Granny. If Chad's not available, I will try and make myself available for you.
see you
Okay.
later, Jen.
Bye.
Bye.
So I am a world-renowned sword swallower. I currently have 10 world records. One of them being I'm the smallest person in the world to swallow a 2-foot sword that's 2 inches wide.
Wow.
I rode a mechanical bull for 12 seconds with that sword down my throat.
Oh, gosh.
So those are just a couple of my world records. I lifted a full-size keg with my ears while standing on broken glass. So I'm a entertainer, but in these times I can't actually stage perform.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to do all these fun streams and stuff now. So that's what I'm currently doing. And then I stream games right now. So if you go to my channel, you'll see me streaming GTA and Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that.
Have you tried out for America's Got Talent?
They have contacted me 3 times, and I was supposed to go on this year because they actually said that I wasn't gross enough to go on. Because normally my
internet's spazzed out. So what was your talent? I'm sorry.
Swallowing swords, eating glass, walking on glass. I lift weights from my piercings. I'm a living sideshow artist. So almost any sideshow act that was done in the old days, I can pretty much do.
Oh, that is awesome.
And also to say
cool.
that Slim is more with the times as well. That he's with a lot of his piercings and stuff and so on. He's got very much with the times technologically, hence the Slim the Living Cyborg moniker.
Oh, I always forget. I have microchip implants, LED implants, and magnets implanted in my body all over.
Ooh, awesome.
Cool. I have rods and screws through my spine. I've got rods holding up my spine on either side, and then I've got about 30 or so screws. I never counted. That hold the rods in place. What?
Yeah. So you're cyborg too.
So I'm a cyborg too. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm boring. I have no piercings. Well, I had piercings, but they grew in because I had to take them out because my hair decided to try to eat them.
I feel very vanilla. I have no piercings and just one tattoo, so I feel very vanilla.
You're a vanilla straight friend. That's what you are.
I've not had opportunity yet because I turned 18 in quarantine. So I do not have any tattoos or piercings yet.
I feel old.
Yeah.
I'm a lot older than you are, Seraphim.
Who's breaking up there?
Yeah, Seraphim.
Seraphim breaking up again.
I always worry because my internet's been playing games a bit today as well, so I always kind of worry if it's me or not.
Fair. In this situation, it's
No,
Sarah.
it's me. I'm sorry. My internet's being
Granny
shit.
Cyborg.
I like that.
Yeah,
there
I mean, I
was,
don't have any piercings or anything, but I guess at least I have a sword.
Very good.
There you go. That counts.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've been meaning to get. I will actually sort this out with you, Slim. Because I've been meaning to get you on for a proper one-on-one interview for a while now, and a lot of things that just like happened over the last few months. It's like, you know.
No, I totally understand the chaos. So you just let
Yeah.
me know when we can start sorting it out, and I'm pretty
Yeah,
open.
well,
So you just let me know, and
I
I'll
think,
work it.
to be honest, right now, I mean, we're in lockdown in the UK now, so this is going to be the time, if any,
Yeah.
for me to start doing things. Because I actually do want to do some more interviews and that on my channel, like one-on-one stuff with people in the community. But I met Slim on the I Network. When what happened was, I think we got double booked. I think Tatty had booked me and Barman had booked Slim, so we were double booked. So we kind of ended up going on together, and I just was so interested listening to Slim. I was like, I've got to get you on at some point.
I think we were talking about microchips, so that was a fun. And I think they brought you on because of the 666 part of the microchips, how they say they're satanic or something, and then I have them, and so it was a fun conversation we had for sure.
Let me have a look. Somebody's saying I've got a new patron.
No, I think that person
cool.
Subscribed to me. So thank you, African humanist. Blah, blah. Thank you.
Yes, the African humanist.
If you're not subscribed to Godless Scummer already, you should be. So go do that for sure.
You get. I was when I started this stream, I was at 332 subscribers. So get me back up to 333 again, just to annoy the flat earthers, because they don't like that. They don't like the numbers with threes in them for some reason.
Really, the number 3 is a pretty number, though. And also, subscribe or I'll bite you.
They're into numerology and stuff, Sarah. Just so you understand.
Yes.
Yeah, I know they are, but
be careful with promising people a good time, Sarah.
I still remember in first grade.
How about this? If you want me to bite you, subscribe. If you don't want me to bite you, subscribe.
I still remember first grade. Our teacher had a little saying for how to make each of the numbers. We didn't learn how to write until first grade when I was in school. And 3 was around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3.
Well, I think was it Red's? I can't remember the methodology used, but when Red's rhetoric, I think had the thing with where he debated with Russian vids. Red's rhetoric successfully used numerology to prove that Russian Vidge had a sexual relationship with O.J. Simpson, and Russian Vidge was cutting dick.
But that's the thing. Like, if you think hard enough, you can prove anything with numerology. Like the people that used to prove Barney the dinosaur was Satan.
So I don't put a lot of stock in numerology at all. It's
numbers don't mean anything unless you're measuring something.
Numerology amuses me like astrology does, and
it's cute.
The thing about those things is that hi Ox. The thing with numerology and astrology is that they do actually tell you stuff about the people who believe in them, because they have a tendency to follow what they think it should be saying.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I have noticed that. But per astrology, my best friend from high school is my soulmate. So
So I found out that any 3 numbers that are the same together, they freak out about. So any 3 numbers. If it's
Oh,
111,
they refer to them as they refer to them as angel numbers,
Yeah,
which is an
so
interesting title to give them.
yeah, it's hilarious. So every time I do a stream, anytime we get the same viewers as comments, so we get like 8 viewers and 88 comments, I bring it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, conspiracy theorists, watch out! Look, we are shows.
Oh snap!
Look, it's happening. See, it's proof.
Yeah. Oh, I just straight up don't exist as far as people generally are concerned. I'm queer
Well,
and non-binary and neurodivergent.
when they find out that
How
I have
dare you.
microchips, if they find out I have microchips, they disappear. They can't believe I exist. They don't believe that I really have microchips and that I'm a cyborg. So yeah, it's funny.
This is something, obviously, whenever I get you on for a one-on-one, this because I definitely want to talk to you about that because I always get into this thing of that, like how like the anti-vaxxers think they're going to get microchipped if they have a vaccine.
Yeah, I did a whole video on it.
Yeah. So that's definitely something I wanted to talk to you in a bit of depth about that because
it's ridiculous, but it's funny. I mean,
yeah,
people don't understand size. That's the main reason that it makes it so
I was
funny.
going to say RFID chips, like they're insisting on, they're not that small that you can inject them in the end of a needle.
Not in a place that you wouldn't notice the needle size difference, and or it gets injected in the body differently. You can't put it in the middle of the body.
Well, what about the
So
ones
it
that
has-
thought that the COVID-19 tests where you swab your nose was them putting the chip in your
Yeah.
nose? Those were
Yeah,
hilarious too.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
no way
see-
for it to attach, adhere. Then where's it going to go? How does it transpond? What is it reading off of? There's so many questions that go along with it that they can't answer or that don't make sense, that it can't make sense. I mean, there's not enough clues that go together to make it almost an answer. You know what I'm saying? None of that makes any sense other than sci-fi. Like in a sci-fi movie, that would be a great story, but in reality, it can't work together.
Oh, see, my favorite bit of that conspiracy theory is the one where they go, oh, well, it's not actually microchips then, but they're going to put microchips in us because the vaccine contains a drug that makes you obedient.
Yeah, I've heard a handful of things. There's a gel that has RNA in it or something. I may be quoting that wrong because it's early in the morning for me, but something like that. And it's made to heal wounds, and they put it as a gel for maybe using it as a Band-Aid that has antibiotics in it to put into the body slowly, right? So you put a Band-Aid on and then you can have your antibiotics instead of getting a shot, right? So you could pick it up in a store and you could administer it yourself is what they're thinking, right? The people think that the gel, because it has RNA in it or something, it's going to change your DNA to become a slave.
Oh,
how they
It's almost cute how stupid they are.
No, I know, and it's like
the fact that they've clearly just picked up a textbook from a high school about genetics, seen the letters RNA, seen it in somewhere else, and freaked the fuck out about it.
somebody
I'm
told
thinking
them that
a
you can
lot of them
manipulate-
hear their kids talking about it for their class. I'm like, that sounds about right.
Well, they heard somebody talk about RNA can be manipulated or can be changed because that's what we're trying to do to figure out how life was beginning. So they hear that, and then they hear that there's something that you can put on your body that contains RNA to put something in your body. They think that is a way to change the RNA in your body, but that it's not going together technically.
They don't understand that that's not how any of this works.
Yeah, exactly. Your DNA gets changed more by getting poisoned by metals than by anything that they're thinking. So, you're getting poisoned more by drinking out of metal cans than any of that crap. So,
yep.
If we actually could change DNA at will, we would have cured all genetic diseases by now.
But see, they don't believe that because they think that curing the disease is makes less money than it does to treat the disease. So they don't think that they would do that.
Yeah, there's the secret cabal that is hiding the cure for cancer because they don't want to cure cancer because then they couldn't sell all the drugs, and so blah 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 blah.
I mean, in fairness, I can understand them saying that because in some situations the government has been known to do things that don't treat the root issue of a problem.
In some situations, yes. But when you're talking about the health of the world and you're talking about people who are in the health community, they would actually push for it. So it's hard to think that they're actually hiding something that big.
It's clearly bullshit. I just understand where their reasoning comes from.
Yeah. No, me too. Just that's too big to hide, so it can't be, Yeah. Just like the flat Earth. That's too big of a secret to hide. You can't hide it. So besides all the math saying that we live on a globe, you can't hide that fact if it was true, that it was flat,
Well, see, the amount of times they refer to the amount of times they refer to they. I'm just sat here wondering what the Council of MBs has forgotten to fill me in on this week.
Chris says it well. The almighty they.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Chris, Wolf. It's Wolf. Yeah. Because
obviously you missed one of the MB meetings. How dare you?
This is one of those things. I mean, that theoretically, the larger a conspiracy is, the less chance it's going to stay secret.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'd think how many people it would take to keep the conspiracy going that the Earth was actually flat. I mean, and let alone even get into the reasons why you would want to why you'd want to lie about the shape of the Earth, because the reason it's one thing that's bothered me about flat Earth is what's the purpose of the conspiracy in the first place?
Exactly.
That's the
my favorite conspiracy theory is that flat earthers just want a free shuttle ride to the moon or something so that they can be shown that the Earth is not flat.
I mean, if they're giving out free rides to the moon, I'm all for it. I'll be a flat earther just for that.
They'll still say CGI.
Yeah, they'll say it's you're in a capsule, then it's all a fake screen and there's not real. And even if they got out, they'd say somehow it was a VR headset or something. And
or say that they were drugged and like they're in the lab somewhere and they're making them think that stuff like that.
Yeah. The space suits are connecting to their neurons and causing them to hallucinate.
Well, the more that I look into these people, and there are people like Colon who look into people and what they do and kind of their history, and we look into people's backgrounds that are into these things. And I found out a lot of them don't have anything going on in their life. So the only important thing that they have is this fake conspiracy, because they're not a teacher. Yeah, they're nothing. They're not a teacher. They don't have a degree. They didn't actually finish school, or if they did, it was to no-name school. And I graduated from no-name school, so I'm not gonna say, but it seems like these people are grasping for something. They're like, oh, I don't have anything. Like Daniel Pratt, he has his basement. That's it. So he's running around yelling about stuff to give importance to it.
I read something on conspiracies that was kind of suggesting in a way that it's a lot like people that feel somewhat powerless in their own lives or whatever. This is kind of a coping mechanism of making sense of a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're
reasoning is completely fallacious, but I can see why people can get into conspiratorial thinking.
I've watched a couple people who are into psychology, and they've kind of delved on that a little bit and said, they found a purpose. They didn't have one per se, and now they do, and so they're going to run with it because now they feel a connection, or they didn't have friends, and now they have a community, and so it gives them something. And again, I want to reiterate, just, I'm not saying if you didn't get an education or anything that you're going to be one or that it's bad. I'm just saying is when we look into their past, they seem to not have done anything with their lives. Not that there's anything bad with the way you chose your life, just them.
It's not that everyone who is uneducated would be a flat earther. It's just that flat earthers do generally seem to be uneducated.
Yeah, and have not done anything like owned a company or done something.
So I think the conclusion of this conversation is probably basically just that the solution to conspiracy theories is get a hobby.
Yeah.
Also, the ones that are educated, they're not educated in that field. They're educated in something completely different.
I just want to answer Ox's question quickly. I think that was Bob Nadell of Globebusters to do bought the ring laser gyroscope thing to try and prove the flat Earth, and found the 15% curve or the drift. Drift. It's become such a meme that has. I think it was in that Netflix movie Beyond the Curve or whatever, Behind the Curve.
Yeah, Granny, were you trying to say something a second ago?
Oh, I was just going to compare the education to what I found when I was researching Pastor Greg Locke and discovered that his master's degree came from a preschool.
What, seriously?
Well, here's the thing. He claims to have a master's degree from a theological seminary, but when I went on Facebook and found the seminary, it belongs to a church. And when I went to the website of that church, the only school they have is a preschool and kindergarten.
Yeah, we've done a little bit of delving into some people's past, and the degrees they say they have are from a warehouse with no sign on it and in the middle of nowhere. Or it's pretty funny when
hello, my name is Kent Hovind.
Yes.
Exactly. Great point.
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, and like I said, Kent Hovind, he's the only person whose doctoral thesis has been is on WikiLeaks.
Yeah, see, I find it really funny that like one of my partners, who really is like a layperson to all of this stuff, still knows how to take the piss out of like Kent Hovind and Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
And like if I mention William Lane Craig or anyone or any like Cy 10 or anybody, they're not gonna have a clue. But like Kent Hovind and Ben Shapiro and people, they do know.
Yeah,
Hovind's low hanging fruit in a lot of respects. Whereas we say like William Lane Craig, William Lane Craig's a bit of a tougher nut to crack, really.
William Lane Craig is good at philosophy.
Yeah, he's not dumb. He's not a dumb guy, really.
If he sticks within his wheelhouse of strictly philosophy, it's fine. But all of his theological arguments then draw on science, which is where he starts to fall apart.
One of the people that I find ridiculous is J. Warner Wallace. Because he claims that as a detective, this is how evidence works. And no, it's not. He completely misconstrues rules of evidence. How do you find evidence? And he gets it all wrong.
Yeah,
and
I would not like him.
I know he knows this. He does it on purpose.
I would not want him to be the detective in my murder case.
Yes,
having seen his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really think a lot of them do know better. They just decide not to listen to it because either they're famous and they're making money for lying about it, or if they're not famous and not making money for it, they do have that community.
Okay, there are. I mean, I would say, you get with some of them, like Kent Hovind knows better.
He does.
He knows better. He is scamming. There are certain flat earthers. Like I think Mark Sargent, is scamming people.
Yep.
Nathan Oakley is definitely scamming people. He knows that some of these people.
I do believe that Nathan Oakley knows what he's talking about, and he knows it's bullshit.
Oh, apart from the fact
he's one of those. He's one of those in the whole. They're making money on it, so they may as well stick with it because it's something they're making money off of.
There's a reason Oakley will never come off of his own channel. He will never come away from his own mute button, and he like something we were going back to saying earlier. He keeps shouting like logical fallacies that he has no idea how these actually work.
It's a bit like how
the amount of time I'm saying I hear him shout reification fallacy. You know.
Yeah, my favorite is when you take the piss out of someone and they start shouting strawman fallacy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm just taking the piss out of you.
Yeah, I don't know what a straw man is. It's
So
They learn
attacking
buzzwords, and they learn
Yeah.
how to repeat those buzzwords, and those buzzwords make them sound like they know what they're talking about.
I mean, to put it into a sentence, basically, a straw man is attacking a position that hasn't actually been made in the first place. That's the simple one-line answer.
Yeah,
to it. But,
it's a bit like how people think that any insult is an ad hominem attack, when in fact ad hominem attack applies strictly to insults that are made in lieu of an argument.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked with. I think it may have. I can't remember. I've talked with Dave about this yesterday. I mean, because that's another one that gets shouted around the ad hom fallacy. Now, let's say this. Now, let's say I for hypothetical here, I would say I call Sam an idiot. That's not an ad hom attack.
Yeah.
Arguing with Sam, and my rebuttal to his argument is he's wrong because he's an idiot. That's an ad hom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, for the record, Sam is not a fucking idiot. He's so just for the fucking record.
Someone's gonna clip that. No.
Yeah, the amount of things all of us say to quote other people or to explain a dumb shit thing, we could probably all be clipped very effectively saying some really atrocious shit.
Ooh, I should do that. I should clip myself and make a making fun of myself pretending to be a flurfer. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You need to give the flurfer a really dumb name, by the way.
Well, see, I have characters, and that's another thing. Is I have Granny, Cookie McSweet Tits. This is my auntie. So I'm
going to just stress it. Yeah, African humanists. I don't many African charlatans know the truth, but need private jets to keep on fooling people. Yeah, I mean, there's places in Africa that now where my understanding is some of the evangelist preachers out there are even worse than some of the ones in America now.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that, and some of it is scary stuff.
Yeah.
I also have to say, African humanists, reach out to me some time if you feel comfortable coming on YouTube. So I'd love to talk to you.
She's going to be my guest next week.
Oh,
cool.
Ooh.
Oh, that's even better. So go and watch her on Granny's channel. But yeah, you
watch her on your channel too.
Yeah, well, if she agrees to come on, but yeah, please reach out.
Let's fight over her
or something. I'm just interested in what she's been saying in the chat. I'd love to have a conversation.
No offense, Jeff. My money's on Granny, by the way.
My money's on Granny, by the way, as well. So.
Yeah, at least you agree.
Yeah. See,
that's why I started my channel, to debunk a lot of those charlatans. I might sub to you, African humanist. I will be in a second.
Yeah, I will too in a minute.
Yeah, I was looking for Slim's channel. Slim is what's your channel called?
Slim Living Cyborg.
Okay, that is yours. Okay, so it's mostly gaming content?
As of right now, yes. It used to be my live shows and stuff, but as of now, I'm streaming my gaming.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I subscribe. Yay me.
Yeah. Yeah, and soon I will be using StreamYard, I think, to be doing streaming so I can be on different platforms. And then I hopefully will start interviewing people and talking to people about debunking stuff. And really, it's going to be about the Americas right now and the problems we're having. So that will be my main focus at first, is the riots and these gun-toting people who are so scared that their guns are going to be taken by people who have guns. I mean, I own guns, but I'm not a Republican.
Yeah.
I don't believe in Trump. I'm for guns, just we need more regulations. A 17-year-old should never have ran around the streets shooting people with
Now,
with
do
that large.
you not believe that Trump exists?
Yeah, no, I don't believe in him at all. He does not. It's CGI. It's Trump's CGI.
He's a figment of our imaginations. I wish that would be so great that we're just like, like
Oh.
the end of the year, like, by the way, Trump doesn't exist. FYI.
Here's the thing, though, is that I genuinely didn't believe that Trump was a real person when he got elected president, because I'd only ever seen reference to him in Home Alone 2, and so I presumed he was like a gag character from that people were taking the piss with.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing, though, of course, is that over here, Trump is a slang word meaning fart. So, you know, President Fart just seemed a little bit unreasonable.
That's so suiting, though.
That does suit him very much, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, guns scare me too, but it's, you know, you need people to understand how to use them and when and how, and that's the thing is all these people out here that have them, they were never trained how to use them properly. Like at 12 years old, I was taught don't point a gun at somebody unless you're intending to take them out, you know, like you don't point them around, you keep them unloaded, you know how to clean your gun. And that's the other thing, these people don't know how to clean their own guns. You should not have a gun if you don't know how to take it apart, clean it, and put it back together.
Wait, they need to be cleaned? Well, shit.
Oh crap! Dang! Oh, there's residue that happens after gunpowder goes inside. Oh dang! You know, some of these people don't understand that concept, and they're running around with AK-47s, shooting them and not cleaning them, so they're gonna explode in their face. Great, that's smart.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, we are smart here in America.
The thing is that when you go far enough left, you get the gun back. But also, like, people need to learn to fucking take care of their weapons.
Yeah.
Like, I've never actually seen a gun, so I can't comment for guns specifically. But all of the weapons I know how to use, you do need to fucking take care of them.
Yes. And thank you, Robert X.
Yeah,
But guys,
and thank you, Jeff, for posting all those.
No,
And that's one thing that scares me is when people talk about guns and I ask them how to clean or if they know how to assemble and disassemble and assemble their weapon. They say, what? And I go, you don't know it takes apart? Oh my gosh.
guys,
It's broken if you take it apart. I ain't gonna break my guns.
It feels like people who like don't understand that a lot of like swords and shit will have one end that's sharp and like one side that's sharp and one side that's blunt.
Yeah.
And it's like, have you never read up on this at all, let alone seen a sword?
Well, I watch people use knives where they're cutting towards themselves, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please no!
Don't. Why are people like this?
I have a funny story about that if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Junior high school art class, our teacher gave us box cutters to do some kind of project. And I was cutting with the box cutter, and the teacher took one look at me and said, never mind, I will cut all the boxes for you, because I did. I had the knife pointed straight at my chest.
Left-handed?
Yes, I am.
That would be why.
Yeah. So I had a thing at school where I have dyspraxia, so my hands are really fucking shaky when I try and like do something I'm not super comfortable with sometimes. I mean, my hands are shaky anyway, but especially then. But like, so I would try and use a pair of scissors and it would be really fucking jagged, even if I felt like I'd cut it straight. So I could use the thing safely. I just couldn't use them to cut reasonably. So a lot of my friends just started being like, Sam, come here. I'll sort it.
Yeah. Well, again, it's you properly show somebody how to use something that could harm you if not used properly. I mean, that's just how you do it. And then if for some reason somebody can't use something properly, you know, you do it for them, or, you know, I mean, it's just sad when people are so pro something and then you ask them to explain that thing and they can't. You know, you're like, so how do you properly use this? And they go, what? And you're like, oh, that's why you shouldn't have it.
I just point and go boom.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a bit like how if you can't explain something, you probably don't know it super well.
Yeah.
I feel like with that, it's like if you cannot use it safely, you do not know how to use it.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about when we're saying we need better regulations. Just take a class. Everybody should take a class first, or fill out a piece of paper that says not to point it at somebody's face with your finger on the trigger. You know, I mean.
So should we regulate sex? And only people who know how to do it safely will be permitted to do it.
I'm all for that. Please, yes.
I work for Fetish Dungeon. And I agree with that. I do. Yes,
I genuinely do
in sex.
Agree with that. People.
I knew I liked you for a reason.
Slim, what did you say you work for?
I work for Fetish Dungeons and for swinger corporations.
Oh,
so yes, okay. I agree that.
I miss going to the swingers club.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry, Sam. I interrupted you.
It's all good. I was going to say we need comprehensive sex education at an age before most people are going to have sex.
Yes. People need to understand how getting somebody pregnant works, because in the South, they're still not teaching that properly.
Yeah, so. All they're teaching, from what I understand, is they're still teaching how plants reproduce, and that the only way to not get pregnant is to not have sex.
Yeah, no, it's still abstinence. They still say, don't do it. And
the thing is, even here, we still do abstinence only when people get sex education. I was taken out of a lot of the sex ed classes. I was left in the STI one though. So I've seen some horrific pictures of them.
Yeah, the only person that was taken out of ours was my cousin, who's Mormon, and my school made her copy the dictionary in the library because she wasn't allowed to do the sex ed class.
See, I just got told sit in the corner and read.
And I fucked up on my drawing. I didn't save my black palette. Whoopsies.
They had me teach sex ed, so.
Yeah. See, I don't think that sex necessarily needs to even be regulated as such. It's just that sex needs to be educated on well enough that it doesn't have to be regulated.
Oh, I was kidding.
Yeah. People just need to understand how it works.
I know, it's just a couple of people.
You know,
a couple of people were discussing it in chat, so I just thought I'd clarify that I don't think it actually needs regulation. I just think that, like things that need regulating, it needs educating on.
A major example, before, when I was younger, I thought if you peed on a girl, she would get pregnant, you know? So
wait, that's not how it works?
Well, now I know that for a different reason. You do that for a different time. So it's you know.
Only if they ask nicely now, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a safe word involved, and so, you know.
As long as you use the safe word.
Yeah.
There's people not engaging safely in stuff like that frustrates me no end.
I have seen people almost die from trying things that they shouldn't have because they didn't have the knowledge. I have a lot of training, and so we help train people, or I won't try anything that I don't have any prior experience in, or I won't go further than the knowledge that I have in those subjects.
Yeah, that's the best way for it.
I should have had you on my stream. Let's talk about sex.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a very fun stream we did.
Was I part of that stream, or was I there for that? I have horrible memory. I'm sorry.
I don't think you were there for that.
I'm sad I missed that. I love sex.
Just look at my videos. Although I age restricted that one so that people would be free to say whatever they wanted to say on that one.
Okay, I should be able to view it because I am over the age of 18. Yay me.
I imagine that everyone here is at least 18.
Yeah, I just mentioned that because I don't know if that will make a difference in searching it.
It probably will. So you'll probably send me, or I'll get someone to send me the link to it.
I mean, if you look on Granny's channel, it should be
there, yeah. So I should be able to find it that way. So no worries.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for the chat. Dog, what does that mean? How did Antifa not get regulations to you yet for sex?
Oh, we're blaming Antifa for things that we don't like.
I've read. I read it 6 times now, and I think it's just you're blaming Antifa for something. They're for sex, for pro sex things, and
I think they mean that they don't get enough sex, so it's being regulated how much sex they have.
by Antifa. Antifa is in your bedroom.
Yeah, by Antifa.
Oh, okay.
Antifa's cock blocking. How
I
dare?
didn't know anti-fascists are in your bedroom controlling your sex. If they are,
Yeah,
wow,
it's a bit like
that's pretty kinky.
Like
I'm
how,
there.
And Antifa's not
I'm
even
gonna
bringing
blame them for the reason I haven't been able to go to the club. Then it's all their fault. Damn right, Antifa.
Right, Sarah.
Yeah.
I said before you'd get in here, you'd get along and slim. Now you know
Okay,
why.
dog.
Yes, I know why now. Yay!
Yeah.
New friends.
Yay. Okay, dog. Sarcasm. I get you now. Okay, just making sure because.
So did I explain it right, dog? Is that what it was?
It's a bit like how I might say. My dog was telling me earlier that Antifa peed on the carpet.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
I want to see a gun vending machine now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one where I live.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one here either. So I want to see one now. I'm sure they have them somewhere in Georgia. They have to. This is Georgia.
Seraphim and I live pretty close together. I live in Alabama.
Yay, neighbor!
Do they have condom gun machines? So you get your condoms and guns?
No, condoms are wrong. They prevent babies. They cause abortion.
That's right. It causes abortion because the little spermies can't go into the mommy's little thingy mabobber and make the little bastard. I mean,
they think it actually kills the baby. They think that the condom somehow. I don't know.
Seriously?
They obviously don't realize how many sperm there actually are in the average load. So anytime you have the average,
I'm so mature. I'm sorry.
If you have the sex act, one might get through, but the other 200,000, not so much.
Okay, I have something even funnier to say. Every time a gentleman looks at a female and gets somewhat aroused, pre-cum happens. There are sperm inside of that. So there are sperm dying inside of men's pants all day long.
So does that mean whenever we start prosecuting women for abortions, are we going to start prosecuting men for pre-cum?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, why not?
Well, actually, they should do because they should do in that by that logic, because a woman technically is ending one life. We're committing fucking genocide.
Yeah, it's a nation.
Isn't it also what a blowjob is too, though?
Yeah.
Cannibalism and genocide at the same time.
The only appropriate response is to horny jail with you.
Yeah.
It's like I've watched.
I'm pan. I should be fine. It's okay.
I've wiped an entire civilization off the map.
Okay, so have you heard of the lady? Have you heard of the lady who drinks sperm?
I've heard a lot of ladies that do that, sweetie.
She has she has a channel. She has a channel specifically about how to save it, how to drink it, how to make food from it. There's dishes how to make out of it.
Oh my goodness.
Every man find out her address and just send her your sperm. Just everybody send your sperm to this lady.
This message is not endorsed by Godless Scummer.
The views of the panel may not necessarily be the views of mine, but they might be. Just saying.
They may or may not be, but just in case, don't sue me. Don't sue Jeff. It's fine.
It's like I always go to the old Bill Hicks quote about I've wiped an entire civilization off my chest with a grey gym sock.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
I love Bill Hicks.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. See, what's going to be interesting is seeing how sexual stuff is affected for me when I start hormones eventually. Because for some people, starting estrogen increases their libido, and for some people it decreases it, and it has other various effects.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And one of my partners has said, I mentioned that there is a possibility it could increase it. And one of my partners was just like, "Oh no."
I have a question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Is it the topical, or will you be doing injections?
So I still need to get to the stage where I'm speaking to psychologists about speaking to endocrinologists first.
Okay. What would you
Like,
prefer?
I think it's going to need to be, for the way I want to do it, injections.
Okay.
But I despise needles, so we'll see.
Well, you can always have your partners help you with that.
I wish all of my partners are in the US.
Oh,
From
okay then.
From what I've understood from a friend of mine that does do the she does hormones, and then she also does insulin. She says the needle's about the same, and I have to do insulin, so it's not that big of a needle. I'm horrible at psyching myself up to stab myself every single time. I don't know how she does it.
That's what I'm interested in. Is when you get to that process, I'd like to have a talk with you, because I'm gonna talk with other people, because when I was 14, I almost started taking hormone injections and turning myself into the other sex. I went against it just because I came to a conclusion that I'm a cyborg and I'm slim and I'm not male or female, so I'm okay with my body as it is.
I almost did it whenever I first found out I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, because I already have enough testosterone anyway. So I was like, why not just go the rest of the way? And I'm like, I decided against it because my family was like pissed off about it.
Yeah, I understand anybody who feels they need to change, and I am totally pro that. So, and again, anybody in the chat too, if you're going through that process, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about it as well.
So my process is going to be weirder than most people's, though, because I am non-binary, and therefore I have two options. I think I'm going to go with the former of what I'm going to mention.
See you later, PJ. By the way, PJ, I just gave you a wrench, by the way, just so you know.
Bye, PJ.
So I see it as I have two primary options in terms of hormone stuff, which is taking like a normal amount of estrogen for a trans woman and then reducing it to a microdose once I've reached a certain point, or just taking microdose from the start. And I think it's probably going to be the former, but it might end up being the latter, depending on exactly how endocrinology with it functions.
Okay. It's very interesting to me. So I'd like to know a little bit more. And at one point in time, I was going to go through it, and then I went against it. So
it's not necessarily a policy. It's just I give wrench to people I kind of trust, really. But Deirdre, I've got to actually have a look at my Patreon sometime, because it's not updated. So if you have something on Patreon, thank you very much.
It will likely be actual years before I can start Slim, really, but when I do, I'll let you know.
Awesome. I'm sure we'll still be around in the community, so definitely let me know. And then I hope to have people on to talk about that in the future on my channel.
And it is really interesting, especially with how the hormones affect different people's bodies differently.
And that's what I'm mostly interested in, as what it's doing to their body and how they're reacting to it, and how we can make it a more streamlined process and maybe make it safer for people. So the more that we talk about these things, the better it is for society. And that's one of the things I'm trying to push, is talking about fetishes, talking about weird stuff, tattooing, body modifications, microchips. Because if we don't talk about it, then the people that are oppressing it win. So we need to be out there as much as possible talking about it, so it's understood and it can be a conversation.
I just want to read this comment out by the African humanist. Sex is something we never used to talk about. I was married for 10 years and we never talked about it, only when he wanted it. It was an abusive marriage, and I'm glad to be out because he married my friend. I'm glad you're out of that relationship, is all I can say. I feel bad a bit for your friends that he's in that relationship, but I I'm glad for your sake that you're out of that, and you seem to be in a better place for it.
Yes, it's great to hear that. Not that you went through that, but that you're out of it. I hope that nobody has to go through that, but it's wonderful to hear that somebody was able to escape that, because a lot of people get Munchausen syndrome. Is that what it is? Where you
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, there you go. Where you end up falling in love with your captor, and that's kind of what those situations are kind of like.
Syndrome, yeah.
I remember the word.
It is often that thing with the abusive relationship where people often go back to that abusive relationship, you know. So it's very glad. I'm very glad when anyone can get out of that sort of cycle.
And I have advised several friends recently to get the fuck out of relationships that they've been in long term, but that I was just sort of finding out about, and I was like, whoa, there, what the fuck? If this guy is cheating on you multiple times a month, and you keep giving him another chance, I'd say maybe dump the guy.
Well, there's also the fact that whenever for a lot of women, when the guy is cheating, they're told it's their fault. Like in the past, when my exes cheated, I was told it was my fault, and my mom every single time would tell me, it's like, go beg him to take you back.
Sorry, I've got to highlight this comment. Wow.
That is
married when that is
wow.
His marriage is invalid.
Yeah. So that second marriage isn't actually legal.
Law is kind of Granny's thing here. So,
well, actually, African Humanist is in the UK, and so I don't know UK law.
I was going to say I'm not
sure.
I
don't know when. Yeah, I don't know where you were married, but either way, that does not sound.
No, that in the UK, being married to multiple people is still illegal.
Yes. Yeah, bigamy's still a illegal thing in the UK.
I did know that a lot of UK law, though, is based on church law, and under church law, a marriage while you're still married is completely invalid, and so I would assume that would be the law in the UK.
It depends on
that might
the area, isn't it?
You went to Africa, so he thinks it's valid. Okay.
It wouldn't be recognised in the UK. It would, I guess, technically be valid in certain places, but
yeah, I don't comment. I mean, law's not my thing.
She's saying Africa, so
depending which African country, shenanigans might have occurred.
Yeah. Very interesting. I don't understand that. Like, why would you? I don't know. I don't understand
the ego
of people. I don't understand the ego of people. Why do you need to get married to multiple people without telling? Have multiple families or have multiple partners without telling them? You need to just, if you want multiple partners, there's millions of people out there that are open to having multiple partners. Just get with somebody who wants that. If that's what you want, you can find anybody into anything.
My theory on that is people, there's some people that just get off on danger.
Yeah. If you're not supposed to do it, they want to do it. That's why, like, the pastors end up, smoking meth and having gay sex because they're not supposed to do it. So it makes it more thrilling.
It's the thing is that when they do it, I think oftentimes they wouldn't be interested in, for example, polyamory or ethical non-monogamy. They aren't interested in the ethical side of it. They are just interested in doing something they're not allowed to do.
Yeah. And I get
the thrill of it.
But
so fun little thing when anyone makes an argument against non-monogamy, technically they're making an argument against single people too. Or people who are dating but not married as well.
Well, they also think that you shouldn't date a lot of people anyway. Like, they think that you should just marry the first person. A lot of them.
I have opinions about that. This is a thing that I want to actually discuss on the podcast I'm going to be starting soon.
Nice.
It would be an interesting topic.
Yeah, because it is, that is a thing. I can't imagine marrying the first. Let's just say in my teenage years, the first person I dated in high school. I can't imagine marrying them.
I'm still friends on Facebook with the first person I dated, and yeah, I'm really glad I didn't marry him. He's a Trump supporter.
Oh man.
See, if I had to date the first person, if I had to marry, the first person I like dated or had sex with or whatever, I would be perfectly fine, purely and simply because to this day that person is my best friend.
Nice. I'm 40
I'd probably
now.
be dead.
I'm 40 now, so high school was so long ago that
I know you're fit. I know the feeling. I know the feeling, Slim.
Yay, not the oldest.
I turned 41 last month, so
yeah.
So this is. I feel like this is where I accidentally make people feel old again because I am like 18 still. So
okay, everybody,
Baby.
I gotta get back to work. So it was fun hanging out. I gotta leave
Slim.
now.
Nice meeting you,
Slim,
hon.
Slim. Before you go, I'll be in touch. Are you about any point next week at all?
And anytime, just let me know, and we'll make sure it works.
I'll try and get you on next week then for a one-on-one. We'll just try and find a time that works for both of us because I definitely want to have a more one-on-one conversation, getting to know you better, and I want to do more of that on my channel anyway, some one-on-one kind of interview stuff. But I've been wanting to get you on for a while now, and then things have happened personally where I've not really paid attention to my channel so much. So
yeah,
but I definitely want you. I definitely want to get you on, Slim, and I just think let's try and do it now. Now we're in we're in lockdown in the UK. Hey, I've got all the time in the world at the moment. So
yeah.
Before you run, Slim, I'll make you feel young. I turned 60 this year.
Oh dang. Yeah. Well, that's why I like this community. It's a bunch of older. Well, it's all ages, So that's why I like the community.
yeah.
Okay. You all have a good day. I'll see you all around soon.
Bye, Slim.
Take care.
Slim.
Bye, hon.
Okay, Sam, you kind of made me feel old the other day when we were talking when I think when I mentioned something about 9/11 and you said that's before I was born, and it's like, oh my word, that makes me feel, because that's like the big in my generation, that's like the big event,
Yeah, because you were talking about 9/11 and I was just like, I'm not going to be able to contribute here because I don't remember it. I wasn't there. I was not born yet.
My youngest, Robin, was 3 months old on 9/11, and I just laid her. Well, I just laid Robin on a blanket and watched the news all day.
The reason I say it is like generation before me, my parents' generation, always would say to me, I remember where I was, what I was doing when Kennedy was shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really get that until 9/11. And I do remember exactly where I was, what I was doing when I heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I had just gotten out of the cinema. I was watching Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, which was an awful movie.
I was in English class.
Yeah, but I went to a bar for a drink afterwards, and someone said I got to switch the TV. And if you heard about what's going on in America, and I thought he was joking when he told me at the time. I thought, no, this has not happened. Seriously. When they turned on the TV, I was watching that. I was like, jaw just dropped.
Yeah, I've been told by several people now that things have been abnormal since 9/11, and I am suspicious of that. I don't think things have ever been normal.
No, I think it heightens some stuff that was already under the surface anyway. I would definitely that brought a lot of that to the forefront. But it was a thing. It was an event that changed a lot. Not for the better either. But yeah, it maybe it brought to the surface some tensions that have been there from beforehand. But like at one time in the UK before that, there wasn't a big panic about Islam in the UK before that event.
Was that when UKIP started to throw their hissy fits?
Not so much UKIP, but the British National Party got a lot off of the back of. They got a lot off of the back of 9/11.
I had to explain the other day to some of my friends who the BNP are.
Well, who they were even, because they're finished now. But yeah, they were. I don't mind using it. They were neo-Nazis.
Yeah, that's an accurate label.
That is an absolute accurate label. They tried to hide that behind kind of dressing up in suits and ties and trying to present themselves as being a bit more an acceptable face. So
they tried to be professional, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, like they'd say, like, don't talk about racial purity. Talk about national identity, because you can sell national identity to people.
Mm-hmm.
This had been with us was their strategy, but so much like a lot of the stuff that their own leadership had said in the past caught up with them. Like, when your own leader's a Holocaust denier, your chances of respectability are gone there.
Well, there's a lot of the people in my area that I know they're members of like the KKK. They're like doing the whole denial thing as well by saying, "Are you there?" I'm like, isn't that the same argument used for like Christianity now? Are you just using it for the Holocaust too? Why?
Well, the British, I'll explain the British National Party. They took a little bit of influence from the KKK, mainly from David Duke, because Granny, you may remember this. David Duke, he tried this thing to try and tidy up the image of the KKK.
Yes,
and he had a limited amount of success with that, but that is effectively what the British National Party tried to do, and I'd say more successfully in France with Jean-Marie Le Pen. Took that strategy, and that really actually worked in France. I mean, the fact that you had Front National were in the runoff for the presidency.
Oh wow!
In France is scary. They lost, but they were in the runoff, because France has got one of those systems where all the parties put their candidate forward for the presidency, and then if there's not a clear winner, if there's not someone with a clear 50% majority after the first round, the two candidates with the most votes go in for a runoff. So there's two. So it was Macron versus Marine Le Pen. Macron won, but it's the fact that Marine Le Pen got to the runoff is quite scary if you think about it.
Yeah,
it really is.
Recently, someone that I watched, Illuminati. It's Illuminati with two eyes at the end. She did a thing on the KKK and how they actually tried to do their very own MLM, basically. It's a really interesting video.
Yeah.
Well, I need to get going myself, but thank you for the invitation, and it's been fun, and it's been a good time chatting.
To be honest, I'm probably going to wrap up in a few minutes anyway, because we've been going for over 2.5 hours now. So
you said a short one, didn't you?
I said a short one, and it's always what happens. I mean, it's what happened the other day when I was wrapping up. I was going to wrap up for Ring's premiere, and Frustrated Atheist came in, so it's like I can't just shut the stream down now. So, but I think it's probably just a good idea to wrap up now. I'd say please give us subs to other people in the stream, to Jen, to Slim, who else has been in? It's just them, isn't it? I'm not here anymore, I think.
Yeah, that is just them.
Okay, let's go around and just some quick plugs or anything that's got. Seraphim, you got anything you'd like to plug?
Just I plan to do more art. Yay me.
Cool. Okay. Granny?
I've got a video that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow on free speech. And then next week, just a minute, I need to check the time. I've got my video. I'm doing the stream with the African Humanist. And I can't remember if that's shoot, I don't have the time down on my phone, but it's either at 3 or 4 in the afternoon because she's in the UK.
Yeah.
We moved up the stream to the afternoon for the US for that one.
Okay. Because I said when you're done with the African Humanist, please send them my details.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with her. I will catch. If I'm not there in the live chat, I will catch it, Granny. I promise you. Because I'm very interested. Sam, anything you'd like to?
So soon or soonish, I have the podcast coming up. In the next couple of weeks, I am going to upload a video about how quite often, like with vague or broad terms, it's difficult to define, and I'm going to focus on Christianity as an example. And then I also would like to quickly plug my artist. You can find their details in the description of any of my videos. They're doing commissions at the moment, and they are fantastic.
Okay, I found it. It's going to be on the 19th at 3 p.m. Central, which is GMT -6.
Okay, cool. Okay, so yes, but not about 9 p.m. our time, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
That's right, I think.
I should get back
Cool.
into doing
I should be able
commissions.
to get in live chat for that one then. Okay. Well, for myself, Sunday I've got the one stream I do have planned is myself and Noodle, formerly known as Hissy, are going to be continuing our little delve through the Asterix comic books, which I think we're doing Asterix and the Magic Carpet this week. It'll be on my channel, and I believe I think Hopswatch may join us for that one as well. So that could be quite a bit of fun. And things to look out for. Obviously, we talked on stream. I am going to get Slim on for a chat at some point in the near future. As soon as I have a date and time, just watch out for that. And something else I've got in the pipeline is I'm getting Tim O'Neill, who runs the site History for Atheists, on. Originally, it was supposed to be this Friday, but Tim's had something like pop up short notice that he couldn't do it this week. So hopefully, those are the things I've got in the pipeline. So look out for them. So okay, I am going to close this stream off. Thanks everyone in the chat today. Thanks to Jen, to Slim, Granny, Seraphim, Sam. Thanks all you guys for coming on today. So with all that said, see you guys later. Take care. Salute.